What's up, world? This is your guy, Guitar K, and today's topic, reality. It's not your enemy, but your denial could be. Look, man, people be sitting up talking about something. I can't believe he said that. Or I can't believe she's doing this. Look, if it's happening, you better believe it. If somebody show you who they are, you better believe it. Sitting up there talking about you can't believe it and you see it's happening. Come on, man. Come on, man. Somebody sitting up there getting evicted out of their house. And they sitting up there talking about, I can't believe y'all doing this. While you see them sitting your stuff on the outside of the house, what do you mean you can't believe it's happening? You're going to be not believing it on the outside of the house. See, the problem was when they was telling you that if you don't pay that rent, you didn't believe it, man. Reality is not your enemy, but your denial to the problems and the stuff that's happening. You got to learn to prepare. You got to learn to understand that when something's happening and something is real, look, man, the truth hurts sometimes, but the truth shall set you free. We seen Friday back in the day, 1995, the year I graduated. That's the only day I ever hooked school. Ma, I know you watching this, but look, I'm 48 years old, and I don't think I can get in trouble for that. We all hooked school to go watch Friday. Yeah, that's how old I am. But look, y'all remember when how Smokey wasn't taking Big Worm seriously. No. Big Worm wasn't really his enemy. The reality of what was happening wasn't really his enemy. It was Smokey crazy ass not taking it seriously. He was in denial that Big Worm would take it to that level. He was like, oh man, ain't nothing gonna happen, man. I'm gonna just sit up here, smoke all this man's weed, not pay him no money, and ain't nothing gonna happen. What? Where do they do that at? Like I said, man, the reality is not your enemy, but your denial to it, your resistance to it. Practice acceptance. Accept what the situation is. Learn to deal with it accordingly. Don't run from it. Run towards it. Deal with the problem. Look, man, not accepting the truth for what it is, it'll have you hating everybody and hating everything, thinking everybody's your enemy. Everybody is against you. When the whole time ain't nobody against you. People telling you the truth. People trying to help you, man. Look, reality, look. You got to learn to accept it. Like I said, at the end of the day, you got to acknowledge it, process it, learn to deal with it accordingly. But the worst possible thing that you can do is to deny it. Look, trying to deny reality is like you trying to unreality it. Huh? Listen to how crazy that sounds. To deny reality is like you're trying to unreality reality. You're trying to make what's happening not be happening. You just sitting there acting like, I can't believe you're doing this to me. I can't believe you smacking me in my face. You going to sit there and keep letting them smack you, or you going to move out of the way? Denying it is never going to change it, man. You can't keep sweeping it under the rug. You got to deal with the issue, deal with the problem, man. And sometimes, like I said, it don't feel good. It might be hard, but you still got to do it nonetheless. Look, man, look. Stuff doesn't just go the way we want it to. It just don't go away. You got to deal with it. The bills ain't going to go away unless you pay them. Look, the problem ain't going to go away unless you confront it. And like I said, the problem is not your enemy. The bill is not your enemy. It's the fact that you're not doing what you're supposed to do on your end. Your denial is what's making it seem like it's such a... At the end of the day, you're making a mountain out of a molehill by not doing your part. Look, man, look. If nobody told you, I'm telling you today, the reality is not your enemy. It's your resistance. It's your denial. It's because you're going against the grain. You're swimming against the current. That's what's making it so hard for you. Look, man. You can't forget the truth. You can't. It's true. It's always going to be true. No matter what you do or say or think or refuse or try to look the other way, the truth going to be standing there staring at you. You're trying to look away from it, but it's going to be staring at you the whole time. What you need to do, turn towards it, face it, deal with it. Get out from under that thing, man. Look. Biggest example I see a lot of time in relationships. Girlfriend or boyfriend. You can tell when that person don't want to be with you no more. You can feel it. You can see it. You can smell it. But for some reason, you're trying to hold on to that thing. Why? Like I said, when somebody show you who they is, man, Believe them. The worst thing you can do is try to force somebody to be with you that don't want to be with you. That's how y'all end up hating each other. You're fighting every day. You're arguing every day. That's a clear sign that the thing ain't working, man. The reality of it is staring you in the face. But your denial to it is what's making y'all become enemies. That's what's making y'all hate each other, fight each other every day. Instead of just knowing what you should do, get up out of there. No, you're doing just the opposite of that. You're trying to force something to stay. You're trying to put a circle in a square hole. When at the end of the day, like I said, it comes from not preparing for things. At the end of the day, when you get into a relationship, you got to get into that thing knowing, hey, one day this thing may or may not end. But at the end of the day, people have a choice. They can choose not to be with you no more. You don't own the rights to somebody. This is not slave days. It ain't like you got some papers on somebody. No matter how good you treat them, no matter what you do for them, at the end of the day, they can change their mind. That's the reality of it. And if you choose to go against that and deny that and be like, nah, he can't leave me because of X, Y, and Z, you're creating your own problems. Look, man, look. So that means when it happens, now you're in such shock.
Oh my God.
There's no way this could ever happen. I can't believe this is happening. When the whole time it's happening. He's not coming home. He's not answering your calls. Whatever it is that's happening, that's showing you that it is happening, your denial to it is the enemy. Not the fact of what's happening is not the enemy. It's your denial. Reality is never your enemy. Matter of fact, a lot of times the truth will set you free. It's showing you that's not the relationship that God had planned for you anyway. Let it go. Seek something that's for you. You want something that you can feel that's real, that you ain't even got to be thinking, is this right? I'm wondering. I'm sitting on the fence with this. No. Look, man, when something is really for you, you understand that it's for you. You feel that it's for you. It's the reality of it is that it just feels right. You ain't got to fight for it. You ain't got to feel like it's a struggle, like you're trudging through quicksand just to make something that's supposed to be so smooth and something that's just supposed to feel good anyway. That's what I'm talking about. You be in denial. Everybody else can see it. Everybody else telling you. Matter of fact, if you was one of the other persons looking at you, you could see it yourself. You know, a lot of times we watch a movie or a TV show and we can have all this good advice as to what the character should be doing. That's what we need to do in life. We need to step outside and act like we're the director or we're the fan and we're watching ourselves in a movie or a TV show. Watch yourself subjectively, man. Don't get so caught up in your feelings and your emotions. Take that out of it. Because at the end of the day, feelings and emotions is not reality. It's not the truth. You got to put some logic into that thing, man. You got to think about what's really going on, not about how we feel it should be going on, man. You ever watch Star Wars? Got the Sith Lords. You know, they don't talk about with words of how it should be or how it might be. They talk in absolutes. It is or it isn't. Sometimes that's how you got to look at things, man. We don't give certain things don't have a gray area. Certain things don't have no wiggle room. That's how it be. We try to give stuff wiggle room. We create our own problems by making something true that's not true, or try to make something reality. We keep trying to unreality it. But at the end of the day, man, the truth will always set you free. Reality is never your enemy, but your denial to it will always be. You're only hurting yourself. Stop hurting yourself. This is your guy, Guitar K. Be more